you very much. Michael Staiti with Keystone Development. I'm the developer who is developing Angel Brook Village off of Shrewsbury Street. Here tonight to request the town's support of 3 affordable units under a LIP process at that location, and asking for that support in the form of waivers of sewer connection and building permit fees. As a background on this request, part of the permitting process on a second phase of Angel Brook of 18 units, the planning board asked me if I would include some affordables in there. This was prior to the inclusionary zoning bylaw, which is now in effect in town, and it was not required to obtain the special permit at the time. For various reasons, I agreed, and we can explore those reasons if your board wants to, but they're not germane to this conversation. I also offered a third unit if the town would waive fees on the 3 units in total. Through the application process to DHCD, discovered further that a LIP process, in order to be approved and recognized as affordable units for the town, there has to be support from the town. Now that support can come in the form of a monetary contribution towards those units, which is not what I'm asking for. It can be in the form of a density request or granting higher density, which is also not what I'm asking for because it wasn't necessary under the zoning for that piece of land. And it can come in the request in the form of a waiver of fees, which is sort of a minimum level I see, and DHCD likes to see these kind of things as well. So this would be just on the 3 affordable units that we're building or proposing to build. And again, it'd be for the building permits and the sewer connection fees.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, in your agenda packages, you'll have a letter from the planning board actually writing in support of Mr. Staiti's request for building fee waivers for those 3 affordable units.
Yes, I was going to read it into the...
Oh, I was going to save you the hassle of having to do that.
Well, but you can read it in if you want.
Sure. It's dated November 30th, 2007. Dear Mr. McCormick, it is the understanding of the planning board that Mr. Michael Staiti will appear before your board at his December 5th meeting to seek relief from building permit fees for the 3 affordable units he has included in his development, Angel Brook Phase 2. At this time, it is uncertain as to whether a member of the planning board can attend this meeting, and we ask that this letter of support be read at the meeting and be part of the record. The planning board voted at its meeting of November 28th to support Mr. Staiti's request. Mr. Staiti has included these units at the request of the planning board as part of the local initiative project, LIP, through which the town gains affordable units to add to our subsidized housing inventory, but requires the town offer something in return. In this case, he seeks relief from building permit fees for the 3 units in question. We believe the value received by adding these units to our housing inventory is well worth the remission of these building fees, and we ask you grant his request. Thank you for your consideration of this matter. Sincerely, Patricia Halpin, Chairman, West Boylston Planning Board. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Chris is going to say it first. Go ahead, Chris.
They only mention the building fees, right? They don't talk about the sewer.
In this letter, yes, Mr. Chairman.
They don't say if they...
There was subsequent emails that went back and forth, I think, between you and the chairman of the planning board, asking whether or not those could be considered.
Well, in the emails, and they copied you on, they indicated their support for that, but felt they could not vote on that because that was not part of their sort of jurisdiction.
There was part of their discussion. They already had voted.
They were quite clear in those emails, and Leon can attest to this, that they supported that facet of it as well.
Also, just, I know you listed some of the different ways of showing the town cooperation, but also just simply agreeing to the LIP program is also another form of cooperation. You don't need one of those other things to show the level of cooperation, am I correct?
The DHCD, and this is, it's subjective to an extent. There's no iron set rule that says you have to contribute X percentage of the cost or something like that.
There's no rule that says you have to contribute anything, is what I'm saying.
Yes, no, they do require, a requirement of the LIP process is the town is contributing something. And usually they see it in monetary contributions on projects that are much more dense and affordable, 50-50 type affordable things, or a density, for instance, 6 units per acre, whereas zoning might only allow 5 units per acre. But just saying yes to, we want LIP, that doesn't cut it for DHCD. So.
Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, I do.
Yep.
How many units are you building? that
The
you're
total
giving us?
project with all 3 affordable units is 132 units,
With the,
including the 3 affordable. So it'd be 129 market rate, 3 affordable.
so how much were the building fees roughly and the sewer connection fees for the whole project? I mean, I know you could, it's 100.
$500,000 on sewer connection fees, and on the building permit fees,
Roughly.
almost $300,000. Top of that, the project is contributing about $500,000 a year to the tax revenues of the town once it's fully built out.
Now, this is the one
This
that's
is just
currently
Angel
being-
Brook.
Right, the other.
Hillside Village,
doesn't
similar
have any-
type math,
They
no
don't have
affordable.
any affordable.
No affordables, right.
Right. This is
But as
something.
far
that-
as revenues for the town, similar type.
Everything's the same, right?
Right.
This is something the planning board and you kind of work together with on the.
There was a
second-
request specifically by Pat. She wasn't the chairwoman at the time, but she's on the Housing Authority, or Housing Partnership here in town. And I'm also involved, heavily involved in the town that I live in affordable housing. And so it's something she asked of me, and I volunteered at the time. So
Thank you.
my contribution roughly is about $300,000. There's about a $100,000 delta between what I'm going to sell these affordables for compared to what I'm selling the market rates for. So that's essentially, part of that's obviously profit in there, but essentially that's a contribution that I've made for those affordable units for the town of West Boylston.
100,000 total
100,000 per unit.
per unit.
Delta
Right.
between market rate and the affordable price. The affordable price is going to be about $155,000. I'm selling the same size unit even in this market if I can sell it at around $275,000. So I am also making a very large contribution here to ask for $18,000 in fee waivers. It's not a cost to your town. It's a lost income in a sense, but it's not a cost that you will spend. I hope you think is a very fair request.
I guess my opinion. I wish I could remember how this all happened in my little head here, but regardless, I guess, we're getting 3 more units. It's $18,000 roughly, $19,000. It's a pretty good deal. Nobody else gives us anything for anything. So, if we spend $18,000, we get 3 more affordable units at no other cost to the town. I don't think it sets any precedent unless, now we have this inclusionary zoning, so they have to give them to us, so it's not setting a precedent that we have to do this again. I think it's a good thing to just waive both fees, because my guess from writing this letter is that the planning board would probably be in favor of waiving all the fees, because it's not gonna affect them one way or the other, whether we collect any of them. So, that would be
And I
my,
think and I think that's what they did say at the meeting. They said that they would, but they just didn't have enough time to vote it. So, yeah, I agree.
I think we should, that's my opinion, I think we should grant a waiver, whatever we have to do. The fees, grant a fee, waiver, relief from the building fee and the sewer fee for those 3 units only. Yes.
Can we defer this to our next meeting then, till we have an opportunity to hear from the planning board as to their opinion on the entire issue, instead of just one issue? I'd feel more comfortable doing that.
You don't need to know prior to this.